I am the master of my life and my future. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Homegirl I Need Love Season 3, Episode 2 Emotions Matter. Today, we will be talking about emotional intelligence and why the emotions you feel actually matter more than you may think. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope you are practicing peace and you are keeping yourself happy. What made me want to talk about emotions for today's episode is the fact that I've recently been going through many emotions, ups and downs, and highs and lows. And that is why this episode is dedicated to emotions and how to have better emotional intelligence with yourself and others. Emotional intelligence is something that we all don't have, but we can have it. Understand how you feel and how others feel in everyday conversations and situations. Whether you're happy, sad, mad, all these feelings are valid. So we're going to talk about that in this video. Now, typically, when someone says you need better emotional intelligence or you need to understand your emotions more, they may feel that you don't address your emotions enough. Now, I myself have been labeled robotic ice queen, typically by lovers, but it isn't to say their feelings aren't valid. In the moment I received a lot of these titles, I didn't really take time to understand where they could come from. But seeing as though all humans are intuitive, people typically can tell either when you are feeling an emotion or where you should feel an emotion. Never dull how you feel in that moment. If you and a lover, you and a friend, you and a family member, or just you in everyday life are going through a situation with someone, do not dull how you feel. If anything, I challenge you to speak on how you feel in that moment and how it made you feel. Mad, sad, or angry. All these feelings are allowed because all these feelings are valid. You are the master of your life and your future. So when I say it is possible for you to have more emotional intelligence with yourself, a good tip is to simply address your feelings in that moment. Do not say it doesn't bother me. Do not say I'll just have to get over it. Do not dull or push down how you feel in a situation to please others or to dull your emotions. Another way that you can learn to develop better emotional intelligence is to listen. And when I say listen, I mean listen to learn from others. Try not to simply wait for your turn to speak when someone is having a conversation with you. Sometimes a lot of us can know that we're having a conversation with someone and kind of pre-plan responses. Has this ever happened to you before where someone was walking past you at a job or somewhere in public and they said, "Hey," but you expected them to say, "How are you?" So you said, "Good, fine, yeah." When they just said, "Hey," they didn't even ask how you were doing. So some people pre-plan thoughts, but what if I challenge you to be in the moment? Actually listen to people to learn. That's something I do, and to this day, it still shocks people of all ages, from children to elderly. A lot of people are shocked at what I'm able to say I learned about them. And often enough, some of the things I'm able to regurgitate back to them. Because I rarely speak to someone and I'm not listening to learn. I'm always learning. I think that's why I'm so attracted to floral. Because flowers, they're ever changing. They go from the seed, you know what I'm saying, to the leaf, to the flower, and I think that's why I'm so fascinated with growth, because I'm always willing to learn. I listen to learn. It's helped me in my life a lot better understand people and prepare myself for situations that they don't even know I've realized is already coming, but that's because I've developed a level of emotional intelligence. Understand this. These episodes of Homegirl I Need Love is almost a stepping stone for both of us. If you're listening and me actually speaking this, I have a level of emotional intelligence, but every day I'm developing it more until I leave Earth. I'll continue to develop this gift because, like I said, it's helped me. Now, I have a level of emotional intelligence. I am aware of that. And it's something that was instilled in me young. Because ever since I was young, I've always been willing to address things in the moment. And it's only I can say that life has shown me other things, from peers saying it's not important, to teachers saying it's not important, to adults in my life saying it's not important. So in a sense, I was almost being trained to dull my emotions, but I'm back at it again. I'm very vocal in the moment. That upset me, that saddened me, that made me happy. I don't mind expressing things in that moment because that's a level of emotional intelligence. I'm happy. This made me happy. So I'm learning about me as well. Also, another tip I want to give you before we head on out of today's episode is don't feel bad for putting your emotions first. Don't feel bad for putting your emotions first. You are your first line of defense when it comes to your life, when it comes to being the boss of your emotions, being the master of your life and your future. Think before you speak. Now, this is very important, and I promise you, if this is something that some of y'all heard when y'all was children up until now, personal or business, think before you speak. Now, you don't have to go an extreme level of 10 seconds because then that's kind of noticeable. In my daily, everyday life, I've started to implement 5 seconds. Someone can give me a paragraph, instant information, extremely bad news, and I practice countdowns. I think this is something I mentioned to you all before who are familiar with the podcast. I incorporate countdowns. So if someone gives me a lot of information that I have to consume and try to understand, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me respond to this. Now, the reason why I said not 10 seconds is because typically if you're in a conversation, the person wants to hear something back. 5 seconds is a start. If it's not long enough, go for 10. Let me think about this. Give me a minute. I need to think about how I'm going to respond to this. You can be vocal, express how you feel. Nothing wrong with that. Thinking before you speak in personal or business is a good way to build trust with others as well, because it lets them know you're not just listening to them to speak or to kind of get them to move on to a different topic. When you're able to engage and actually listen to what this person is saying, it makes a difference. Later on, they're able to bring up different parts of the conversation they had with you, and you will remember because you listened to learn. Live your life for you and live your life today. You care about you. Start caring about you today. I want to thank everyone for listening. This has been episode 2 of Homegirl I Need Love season 3, and we talked all about emotions, and they matter. Okay, so one thing I want you all to do and to implement going into this next week is to put your emotions first and do not dull your emotions. Speak on how you feel and do not back down. You will feel empowered. Trust me. And remember this. Do the best you can with what you got. And I will see you on the next episode of Homegirl I Need Love. This is a journey and we're all on different paths. But I hope these episodes help those that need it. Thank you for listening.